ahead of the Austria game. We wish the Black Stars well, we wish the technical team and all the handlers well. But let's get into a few announcements here. Polytank says, have you gotten your Polytank Sumo Super yet? If not, this is your month to save. Get 10% off the premium multi-layer Sumo Super Tank from now till the end of Ghana month nationwide. Yes, let's celebrate our heritage together. Built with advanced multi-layer technology and reinforced for superior durability, Sumo Super is designed to last, giving you peace of mind for your home, your project, or your business. Don't miss this time-limited offer. Visit any Polytank outlet today, ask for Sumo Super, and save over 1,000 Ghana cedis. Polytank, the original. Polytank, always the best. Polytank, Papa Nkasa. And Polytank has a message for you. Polytank says, beware of fraudsters. Polytank does not request for Momo online. Papa Nuno Nkasa. Papa Nuno Nkasa. Well, on the recreational side of things, the second edition of the Easter Novi Pogbeza is slated for April this year. The Ghana Water Volleyball Association is set to host the second edition of the Easter Novi Pogbeza Water Sports Festival in Keji in the Keta municipality. And the event is scheduled for Friday the 3rd of April 2026. And on Friday, I will be having the water volleyball and handball competitions. And then on Sunday the 5th of April 2026, we have the regatta relay. And Nathan, what's the regatta relay?
The regatta relay, I think it's the relay that involves canoes.
Okay.
You know, so I think the canoes will...
Tojivu. They call it Tojivu.
Tojivu, okay. They'll do a head-to-head. I think they'll be racing on the water.
Right.
Yes.
It should be exciting.
It should be fun stuff.
Nathan, that is where I'm going. I wanted to go to Kwewu.
But no, we are going to...
No, I want to go to Keji. Let's go to Keji. Now,
I've never been to Keta.
You've never been to Keta?
Keta.
I mean, there are nice places in Keta as well. You know, yeah. So we'll take you to Keta.
Yeah, we'll go to Keta.
I'll be your translator. You pay me small, you know. The National Recreation and Wellness Program has confirmed participation with a delegation led by Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah expected in Keji for this year's festival. Nathan, you have some food for us today.
Yes. Delish is serving wonderful meals. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you want your jollof, your fried rice, grilled chicken, fried chicken, assorted noodles, yam chips with spicy wings, club sandwiches, and ampesi and all of that, speak to the good people of Delish. They are the University of Ghana, poolside, right behind the UG Stadium, and they are some great people. Every Wednesday, they have karaoke. Every Friday, they've got live band or games night. So you have to choose whatever it is you want to enjoy. And their space is so nice, it's so relaxing. You can organize your hangouts, your business meetings, or you can just go and chill with friends. Call them if you want delivery. Call them on 054 080 0000 or 056 004 4444. Follow at Delish Ghana on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. Delish Restaurant, great food, great vibes every time.
Well, Nathan, by way of updates, let's get into a bit of the Senegal Morocco tussle at CAS. And okay, right. So we'll get into that legal battle between Senegal and Morocco and CAF in a bit. But let's go to Vienna. Nathan, let's go to Vienna, where the Black Stars are preparing to take on Austria tomorrow in an international friendly as they seek to prepare for the FIFA 2026 World Cup. Now, the Ghana Football Association earlier this morning released a statement on plans for the game. Now, they have confirmed that Coach Otoado will hold a pre-match press conference ahead of the Austria friendly. And let me read the story from the Ghana Football Association website. Now, the story says Black Stars coach Otoado will address the media in a pre-match press conference on Thursday, March 26, 2026, ahead of Ghana's international friendly against Austria. The press conference will take place at the Ernst Happel Stadium in Vienna at 5:30 local time. Coach Otoado We'll provide updates on the team's preparations, discuss strategy for the upcoming match, and answer questions from accredited media. So this is coming from the Ghana Football Association Communications Department. And still on the Ghana Football Association website, you get to see pictures of the boys in training yesterday. 25 players participated in yesterday's session. And yes, all the players are trying to catch the attention of the technical team. Otuado and his squad, they up the intensity at the Austria Football School pitch on Wednesday evening. And all the pictures from training, you can see Koninsdorfer going through some stretches here. You see Senaya also in camp. There's Gideon Mensah as well in the shot. There's Kwesi Sibo. And then you have other players, Kamaldeen Sulemana, as well as Fatawi Sahaku. All of them are in the shot. There's Jerome Opoku as well. There's Ibrahim Sulemana. All of them in the picture. There's Bonsuba, Christopher Bonsuba. All of them in the... some very beautiful pictures here. So Black Stars are getting ready. Would touch base with Abigail Senasosu, who is currently in Vienna, to bring us up to speed on what's been going on in camp and what we should look forward to as far as the Black Stars preps for the big game is concerned. But the Black Stars will be playing 2 friendly games ahead of the World Cup this March. 2 friendly games before they play Mexico and then Wales later. So the Black Stars are preparing for this very, very big game that many expect to see some very, very impressive performances from the Stars as we seek to take on Panama, England, and Croatia at the World Cup. But let me remind you that there will be a playoff game today. Yes, there's going to be a playoff game as far as trying to get the last 6 teams. Last 6 teams to qualify for the World Cup. And that game would feature Bolivia and Suriname. Now, it's a playoff promotion game. And so the winner of the game between Bolivia and Suriname will be playing against Iraq for one final slot in the World Cup. So there are still positions waiting to be filled out as far as the World Cup is concerned. But Nathan, I think there are 6 more slots. 6, 8.
In terms of
the qualification for the
I think
World
about
Cup.
6 or so.
Yeah, I think six slots left. So DRC could possibly become Africa's 10th. Right. That is if they make it via the playoffs.
Yes.
They become Africa's 10th. And then you have 2 teams coming from the other side, the intercontinental playoffs. And then 4 teams from Europe, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe you could just confirm that for me quickly.
Yes.
Now, DR Congo would play the winner of the game between New Caledonia and Jamaica. And that game will be played on Friday. So we'll be looking forward to that as well. But the Black Stars would be in action, and we'll be joined by Abigail Senasosu all the way from Vienna to bring us up to speed on what's been happening in camp.
So so it's confirmed 6 teams
Good.
will qualify. 4 from Europe and 2 from the intercontinental playoff tournament that's been played in Mexico.
Yes, so DRC could be Africa's 10th representative at the World Cup. That's if things go well for them in their playoffs. But let's talk about the Black Stars a bit. We've seen them in training. We've seen Coach Otuado, call up players and all. What do you make of what you've seen in training so far? We've seen shots of Kamaldeen Sulemana, scoring some bangers on the training ground. We've seen the goalkeepers busily trying to cut the eye of the goalkeepers trainer. Let's talk a bit about what we've seen in training so far. Are you impressed with what you've seen? The rapport and the team scam, the team chemistry, the bonding, the dance moves, and so far.
Look, you know that whatever happens, the preparations will not have the intense feel a qualifier or a tournament match would have. So it's been a bit relaxed. But I guess for the entire playing body, first of all, they know that this is a final audition, if you like, for places. there are some people who are a bit more assured of their place than others. Those who are not sure are the ones who have to show a lot. And I think that they understand the value of these friendlies from a personal performance perspective. Then they will have to go on and show their quality. But lastly, it's been okay. I mean, we've not had any issues in camp, no hitches and all. It's been great and all. Abigail is in a better position to let us know the deeper stories and some of the things that we do not know of in terms of the training. But so far, it's looked good. 2 players didn't show up. Iñaki Williams and Brandon Thomas Asante, Ransford Yeboah Konigsdorfer, was called up to fill those spots, or at least fill a spot as against the 2. So it will be interesting to hear from Abigail. But I think just looking at it from our perspective or from our standpoint, I think it's been okay. The 2 friendlies will tell us a lot about the team. I'm sure Otuado himself is ready to learn a few more things about the players and the team. And whatever lessons he picks up will determine the players that make the final 26 for the World Cup in June.
Let's take a trip to Vienna and catch up with our very own Abigail Sena Sosu to bring you boots on ground reports. So her boots are on the ground all the way from Vienna to bring us up to speed on everything that's been happening in the Black Stars camp. Abigail, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Good morning, everyone.
I think it's 8:47 in Vienna now.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think they're 1 hour ahead of us. So
and the sweater today, a different colored sweater.
Yeah, this is you see, Abigail is giving us the Bogger vibe.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, the Bogger vibe. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So Abigail, how is Vienna treating you?
Good, but today's weather is expected to be crazy. Today up until Saturday, we are told. So you open your window blinds this morning and everywhere is just foggy. I'm yet to step out and I'm just hoping I'll be able to survive at least this morning. It's not looking good from the windows at all. But apart from that, I think that so far it's been good. Everything has been good so far.
Let's go to the Black Stars camp. And, yesterday the Stars trained again. We saw Konigsdorfer in the shots. What have you picked from the Black Stars training yesterday? What any points worthy of note for us this morning from the camp of the Black Stars as far as training yesterday is concerned?
Yeah, unfortunately, yesterday training was strictly behind closed doors. So no one was literally allowed to watch their training. We are just hoping that today, as they get to train at the NS Support Stadium where the game will happen tomorrow, we'll have the opportunity first as media to be able to witness the first 15 minutes like they do. But yesterday was completely behind. From the team hotel where you sit at the lobby and watch them come off the bus after training, clearly indicates that everybody is fine. Nothing to really worry about. Nobody came back with any injury concern. Nobody was limping or nobody was complaining. So at least we can all assume that training did go well. But for us to see what happened yesterday, unfortunately, no, it was not open to anyone. So no one could literally watch what they were doing at the Austria campus where they have their training pitches and all. No one was allowed to watch their training yesterday.
Well, in terms of the players and the energy, the vibe in camp, what have you picked up? What are the players saying about the game ahead, and what have they been saying?
Well, it looks good. It's been good vibes. You see them working in groups, always talking, mostly those who are playing the same position or similar positions, getting to talk to each other. They move to dinings and their meetings together. Some sense of unity. And for a lot who we can say are not mainstays or who do not have that frequency with the Black Stars, this now becomes more like a justified inclusion. So you are going the focus to be able to give your very best, so that upon the return of our big boys, let me say maybe if the Salis is able to recover, if the Kubis is ready for the World Cup, you know that you need to be able to challenge as a good backup. mind you can't take some of these positions if not for injury. So I think for a lot more of them, it is going to be more of a statement that should last with Otrado, Allen came last, and then the new training and performance coach as well, to be able to make a statement for them, like the ending statement of it, that when it happens that the final score is being announced, it should ring a bell that, okay, Jerome Opoku made this mark, Marvin made this mark, Atakan made this mark, and so we have to consider him to be a part of the final squad. So for them, it's keeping that focus.
This
and
is
they know,
Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
And they know that they will have to perform. We do not know anything about friendly match or main game or anything. All we know is Ghana Black Stars is playing.
That's right.
And these are now understanding that whether it is a friendly or not, they will just have to deliver. So it is more of keeping their focus, ready to make a statement, to make the handlers know that they are ever ready to be a part of the final squad.
Well, Sana, one player I want to ask you about is Marvin Senaya. He's one player who's just joined the team. I mean, looking at him and looking at him in training and how he's getting along with the boys, what do you have to say about his all-round demeanor in the Black Stars camp?
Well, I have to admit, he's a nice boy.
Hey!
It's nice. It's nice. Nathan, calm down. Calm down. Yes.
You know, with his little locks that have been put together and all of that. But the difficulty is I might have to borrow Nathan's brains for some few hours. More French.
Oh, okay.
Take English.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
At all. Apart from that, I think that he's incorporated into the team pretty well. And you know, some of our players have our French descent. Some do understand a little. Some do speak some French, maybe not because of where they are coming from, where they are from. So communication is not too difficult. Go and you see him still mingling with the lot and trying to have conversations and all of that. But for a one-on-one conversation, it has to purely be French. You can't really see the English that long. So away from that bit, that should be maybe the only downside of it. He's very much in tune with whatever they are doing at training. At least on the first day, as on Monday, where we got to watch them shake up a little, that we had the opportunity to literally watch them 30 minutes. He was okay, responding to whatever Kim Lance or Allen or Otuado or the other coaches that are trying to help him out. He's okay. I believe that we have something to offer the country.
Now, you have been in Vienna for a few days, and I don't know if there's a language barrier issue there, but what have you picked up? What's the vibe like in Austria? Are they looking forward to this game? And what have they been saying about their team and the game ahead?
Truth be told, they're really looking forward to it because day in, day out, to get people trooping to the stadium, some are here ready for their autographs and all of that. And yesterday or 2 days ago was supposed to be media day, and we were hearing that actually have a program here in Vienna, and so they wanted to even catch a glimpse of the staff and possibly invite them for the program after the game on Friday. But unfortunately, due to their plans and their scheduling, that couldn't happen. So it is not too far off. They are really looking forward to it. The last time this happened was in 2007 when Austria themselves were preparing for the Euros. And so it has been quite a long time. And the Ghanaians here, everybody showed love. You get to see them every other time around, coming to see what the Black Stars are up to, and to even include the natives. That quickly brings to mind the little boy who had to wait for about 3 hours for Anton Semen just to get a glimpse of him and get to sign his City jersey. So it's positive. They are really looking forward to a good game with Ghana.
Now, what's the plan for the team today? We are told there's possibly going to be a press conference. I mean, what are the plans for today?
Okay, so basically, like you mentioned, it's around the 8, almost 9 now. Normally, their breakfast starts happening after 10, and so we're going for breakfast. I'm sure they'll have their own meetings and all, because today training is at 6 p.m. Vienna time, that's 5 p.m. Ghana time. And before that, 4:30 Ghana time or 5:30 Austria time, it'll be the pre-match ahead of the game later tomorrow. So today we'll get to the NS Harper Stadium where the Harper Stadium where the game will be happening. So they get to train at the Nazi venue today later at 6 p.m. Vienna time, 5 p.m. Ghana time.
Right. Sana, Nathan has a question for you.
No, it's the Marvin Sana I'm interested in. Anyway. But Abigail, you mentioned Marvin. How are the other new guys also holding up? FIFA and Koenigsdorfer especially. I mean, he's not new, but he has been away from the team for a while. He was called in as a replacement.
And then Lucasin.
How are the new guys and then FIFA also integrating into the squad?
They're all fine boys, though.
Yeah.
I struggle to decipher who is new and who is not.
Okay.
Because I think that the environment has been good for everyone that gets to be a part of the team. One thing I realized was that Chris, that the team psychologist, one time I think he stood in a corner with Alpha trying to
Sporty FM.
the team, and he does his job for a first timer. He has to at least get to speak to them and get to know their minds as well. So there's nothing like a new person around here. If you ask me, it's been good. Those that let me say regulars have made sure that the new ones that have joined have had some good aura around them to stay comfortable and work for the nation. Even for Accra and Piper, they came together. So clearly that bond, that conversation has already started, and they're working to be able to blend with each other. The dance session that gets them to really integrate themselves, I think, has already gone on. So most of them are just calm, and it's more like a great vibe when you see them moving together. No one really stays behind and say, I'm a new person, so I need time to adjust, I need time to get to know some people. It's difficult to really find out. Yeah, they are all well and good.
Well, we'll see. Sana, would let you go for now, and hopefully we'll catch up with you tomorrow to bring us up to speed on everything that happens at the press conference today. Would hope that you have a lot of questions for Otuado, because there's a lot he has to explain. So hopefully Sana will bring us up to speed on everything that happens in camp at the training ground today and at that press conference today.
Sure.
Right. Have a good day and enjoy your stay in Vienna. Right. That was Abigail Sena Sosu bringing us boot on ground report. Boot on ground report, all the way from Vienna. She's actually in the thick of things. She'll be a man.
No, not a man.
She'll be a woman on the ground. So she'll bring us up to speed on everything that's happening in Vienna as far as this particular friendly international is concerned. But Nathan, I was just looking at the Austria team. Lots of familiar faces in there.
Yeah. Can you just mention a few?
There's Danso, Tottenham.
Kevin Danso.
There's Anatovic.
This is Sporty
Anatovic, who plays for Red Star Belgrade these days. And then there's also Sabitzer.
Marcel Sabitzer.
Yeah, he spent some time at United. These days he plays for Dortmund. You know, and then you can talk about Alaba. You know, Alaba, an injury doubt, but of course, he's always a member of that team, plays for Real Madrid. There's Konrad Laimer. Yeah, he plays for Bayern Munich, you know. And then they have Schmidt, who plays for Werder Bremen in Germany. And then there's Gregorich, who plays for Augsburg in Germany. You know, they have some nice players in there, some very decent players in there. And, I mean, they would ask lots of questions, coached by Professor Ralph Rangnick. I mean, they would ask the Stars a few questions. I mean, you look at this friendly game and it will be an upgrade on what we saw from the Asians.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
of
Japan.
Of course.
From Japan, from South Korea. I think this would be a big upgrade for the Stars. And these are the kind of opponents the Stars would want to, you know, see how well they do against, because these are World Cup opponents cast in the mode of some of the top teams that you'd meet at the competition.
Yeah.
I mean, for Austria, they qualified to the World Cup in a group with Bosnia and Herzegovina, Romania, Cyprus, and San Marino. They actually hit San Marino for 10.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, they beat San Marino 10-0, So they qualified 2 points ahead of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So, I mean, Romania were in that group as well. So, I think Ralf Rangnick has done quite a good job with this team.
He has.
They scored 22 goals. They conceded 4. He's done quite a good job with this team. So
he has. You look at the Austrian team, and I was watching them closely during the qualifiers. They're a top side, very energetic, tactically sound.
Yeah. And
there's a good intensity about them. And I'm happy that the Black Stars are getting this kind of test, right? Some people may argue that in terms of style, what does this mean for the team as they are going to face Panama, Croatia, and England? I agree that I don't think the Austrians play like the English or the Croats. But what pleases me is that the FA managed to get this friendly, because not a lot of teams will be fortunate to get 2 high-class friendlies, one against Germany, one against Austria. Yeah. So on that score, I give the FA a lot of credit. I think what the team can take away from this, and for Otto Addo, what he can take away from this friendly is how the Black Stars will deal with teams that are intense,
right,
teams that are physically durable, and how the Black Stars will play against teams that can press very well in a coordinated manner.
Yeah.
So I think that's on the tactical side. It will test Otto Addo. I think lots of questions will be thrown at him and his technical team. We'll see the kind of answers they give. Fortunately for the team, this is not the end all or be all. This is not a World Cup semi-final where if you lose, you don't get the chance to make it to the final. This is a friendly. So even though there may be questions, and even though the tactical team may or may not have answers, this is an opportunity to fine-tune plans, fine-tune a style, identify which players can do what for you. And I really hope the technical team, led by Otto, and the playing body will learn to see the lessons in this and use this to ask themselves very tough questions ahead of the World Cup. Because as I've said, these 2 friendlies for some players are the final auditions. If they don't pass this, they are not going. For a good chunk of the team, they are likely to make it to the World Cup. So this game is also another game for Otto to see the different things that these more or less assured team members can give him in a World Cup. And for Otto, it's an opportunity to try new things, try new plans, new ideas, new tactical shapes, see how those plans and shapes hold up against oppositions, and see the weaknesses and all. So I think that the organization of the friendly has been good. The team should be very delighted with this opportunity. I don't think the scoreline should matter too much, even though I'm all against the Black Stars getting trounced heavily, which I doubt it will happen. But the performance is key. We want to see discernible things, right? We want to see patterns. We want to see a semblance of what we are going to do at the World Cup. We want to see what players can give us. So I expect Otto to use these 2 games to test as many plans, as many principles, as many ideas, and as many players as he can, so he can come to a final decision on who makes the 26 and who doesn't go to the World Cup.
These 2 friendlies we are about to play, if results don't go well, maybe the Stars receive a battering from Germany or Austria. Should we be worried? I mean, should we go hard on Otto? Or, I mean, these are preparatory games, of course.
I think it will all depend on the how. Right? If, for example, the Black Stars lose 3-0 to Austria and there are 3 penalties, I mean, you won't fuss too much, because penalties are like individual mistakes or a shot that hits somebody's hand. That is not a tactical thing.
That's right.
So I think it will all depend on the how and the performance. I think that's what a lot of people want to see. A certain idea, a plan, something that runs through, something that we can recognize when we watch the Black Stars. How would they play against a team that presses high? Because that's what Austria will do. Under Ralf Rangnick, they are so drilled and they are very durable. So how do we deal with that? Right? How do we deal with a high press? Can we play through the press? Do we have what it takes to play through the press? Do we have what it takes to hold our discipline? What are we going to do in the World Cup? So I won't fuss too much about the result, even though I'm not in favor of a trouncing. I just want to see how the team plays, how they respond, and whether or not psychologically the Black Stars can look into the face of a big class opponent and say, you know what, if you think you are good, we are equally good and we can hold our own. These friendlies provide you with such a test to let you know that you are able to face some of these bigger teams and hold your own and put up a performance. So I think that those are the big lessons that Otto will have to learn from the competition. I mean, fingers crossed, there shouldn't be any injury worries after this. The team has faced too many injury challenges.
Yeah.
You know, and
Sporty FM.
and you know that should be that. So for me, it's the performance. I want to see a lot of things from the coaching side. Some of the players who have not convinced, this is their final chance. If they don't convince in these two games, then they should remember that it could be curtains for their World Cup dreams.
Well, we'll see how things go for the Stars as they prepare to take on Austria tomorrow. That game would be at 5 p.m. tomorrow.
5 p.m. Ghana
Yes,
time.
5 p.m. Ghana time. So would bring you live commentary on Sporty FM as always. But Austria themselves, they have quite a bit to worry about at this year's World Cup because they are in Group J. They played their first game against Jordan, second game against Argentina, and then their final game against Algeria. And so you kind of understand why they want to play an African opponent just to see.
Get a bit of a taste.
Algeria, Ghana, contrasting styles though, but it still gets them, the kind of prep they need. So Austria play Jordan, Argentina, and Algeria. That's a tough group there, but I would see how things go for the Stars and for the Austrians as well. But the Black Stars would play Germany next after Austria. Again, would be in Berlin to bring Stuttgart. Yeah, we'll be in Stuttgart to bring you up to speed on everything you need to know about our game against Germany. So it's Austria and then Germany for the Stars this March international window. Now let's go to Africa and let's go to Switzerland. We'll go to Africa, we'll go to Senegal, Morocco, and then we'll go to Switzerland because there's a lot happening on the CAS front. Tribunal Arbitral du Sport. Nathan, you help me with this one. You, I beg. You help me. Tribunal Arbitral du Sport. Court of Arbitration for Sport. That is where we are going now.
Yeah. Tribunal Arbitral del Deporte. In Spanish.
Yes. That one too is there, but I deliberately ran away from it.
Strangely enough,
yeah.
You could have easily read it.
Yes, but okay, yes. So Tribunal Arbitral del Porte.
Del Deporte.
Yeah. You see, so
as for Spanish, if you see a Spanish text, right?
You can read it in English.
No. Read it as you see it.
Okay, right. Read it. Del Deporte.
Del Deporte.
Court of Arbitration for Sport.
Very good.
Well, we'll speak to Selassie Adika to decode what CAS is, because everybody thinks CAS is a monster sitting somewhere, But Nathan, what has CAS been saying over the last 24 hours?
Well, CAS put out a statement. Okay, I'll go through the statement. It says, the Court of Arbitration for Sport confirms receipt of an appeal by the Senegalese Football Federation, FSF in French, against the Confederation of African Football and the Royal Moroccan Football Federation, FRMF in French. The appeal concerns a CAF decision on the 17th of March declaring that the Senegal national team forfeited the final of the AFCON 2025 and recording the national team of Morocco as the winners of the match by 3-0 result. Registered by CAS on March 25, 2026, the FSF appeal seeks to set aside the CAF decision and declare the FSF winners of AFCON. It also requests an immediate suspension of the time limit to submit an appeal brief until the CAF decision is notified with full grounds. The CAF decision rendered on 17th March 2026 was operative only. A CAF arbitral panel will be appointed to consider this matter. Following this, a procedural calendar will be established in accordance with CAS procedural rules.
Okay.
An appellate an appellant has 20 days to file an appeal brief with legal arguments.
Right.
And the respondents then have a further 20 days to submit an answer containing a statement of defense. At this early stage of proceedings and considering the FSF request to suspend deadlines, it is not possible to anticipate a procedural timeline and to indicate when a hearing will be scheduled.
Okay.
Mathieu Rib, CAS Director General, has issued the following comment, quote, CAS is perfectly equipped to resolve this type of dispute with the assistance of expert and independent arbitrators. We understand that teams and fans are eager to know the final decision and will ensure that arbitration procedures are conducted as swiftly as possible while respecting the right of all parties to a fair hearing. End quote. It concludes, this is an unofficial summary for media use. CAS will provide media with accurate and updated information on a hearing if and when scheduled. Proceedings whilst ongoing are confidential.
That's a very important part. Proceedings are confidential, so we should be guided with regards to the kind of information we would request or would want to hear. A lot of these things. I mean, so what I want to know is this. And when we speak to Selassie Adik, I want to know. So are we going to see lawyers dressed up going to Switzerland, with their suitcases to go and argue at the case? Are we going to have this, argument where you see lawyers bantering with judges, standing in front of them, my lord, all of that? Is that how CAS works? I would want us to get into a bit of all that for our listeners and our viewers to understand what's going to happen. You get me? Because, I mean, when they say CAS, I'm sure everybody's thinking, well, just like we had the election petition, where lawyers were advancing the arguments in front of judges and all, physically, all of that. So when we speak to Selassie, and then they also speak about time for appellants to come up with their case brief, and then respondents would also have to respond. Maybe when we get in touch with our CAS expert, Selassie has done a few cases at CAS, so he knows how these things play out. But interestingly, when it comes to the issue of CAS, there's a lot of money involved.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of money involved. So you file, you pay. You pay to enter your case briefs and all. The appellant would pay, the respondent would be expected to pay as well. So in the event where the payments that are required don't go, CAS will not even open the docket. Yeah, that's what happened in the case of King Faisal Ghana Football Association. King Faisal could not pay I think it was 22,000 Swiss francs. They couldn't pay within the required time. And of course, the FA were not going to pay. So once the appellant didn't pay and the respondent didn't pay, they didn't even go into the case at all. It died on arrival. So it's always very expensive going to CAS. And I'm sure Senegal are going to feel it. Now, Morocco would be expected to pay as well.
Yeah,
But normally, all parties are supposed to pay. But most of the time, you want your case heard. So if the party doesn't pay, you eventually pay for them. Okay, and then at the end of the trial, at the end of whatever, costs are awarded, and so all of that eventually comes back to you after the respondent is asked by CAS to pay. So the trick is, if you want to do a bit of legal gymnastics, when the bill is sent to you, you can decline payment and see if the appellant is going to pay or not.
Wow.
Yeah, no, so it's all part of the game. You have taken me to CAS, so but Nathan, let's see if we can get into a few messages. You can share your thoughts with us via WhatsApp line 0542 571061, 0542 571061, 0542 571061. Share your thoughts with us, and we'll be glad to share your thoughts with the rest of the world. Would have been interesting to hear from someone who's been to CAS a couple of times, like Mr. Kweku Osei. Wilfred Kweku say, my very good friend. Palmer, good morning to you wherever you are. He's been to CAS a couple of times.
Yes. Don't P.
Yeah, Don't P has a lot of experience going to CAS. Yeah, Don't P. Big shout out to you this morning. It's been a while. We should have Don't P in the studio one of these days, eh?
Oh yeah, it will be.
Yeah, Don Palmer. I mean, it's been a while we heard from him, so we'd have to bring him in. But so Nathan, as things stand now, Senegal clearly have shown intent.
Yes, I'm happy.
They want to,
because at a point I was beginning to get a little concerned whether they were actually going to file.
Yeah.
Right. But they have, and I'm happy. It will be. I would love to be.
But Senegal couldn't have afforded not to file.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. I would love to be a fly on the wall.
But
listen to the various arguments.
Mm-hmm. So Nathan, in your own estimation, what would Senegal be arguing against now?
I don't know. I can only guess, right? I'm not well versed in matters of the law. I can only guess that I think a core part of their argument will be the reversal of CAF's decision. And maybe they'll premise it on a number of things that, IFAB rules say the referee's decision is sacrosanct. So we came back, we played, the ref declared as winners, a ceremony was held, all of that. I suspect it may be part of their argument. So I think it will be
the trophy was unjustly taken away.
Yes, I think it will be a key part of their argument. And then the second thing will be that, okay, how come the title is being taken away from them if CAF is saying that, or CAF is alleging that they breached competition rules? So I guess their argument will be the size of the punishment vis-a-vis the alleged crime. Because when I spoke to Selassie Adika a few weeks ago, that was the point he raised, that Senegal can make their argument based on the size and weight of the punishment vis-a-vis what they did. So they can argue and say, how come the trophy is being taken away from us when we forfeited? So then maybe the counter argument from CAF will be that read the competition rules. That is what is there. And maybe Senegal will say, okay, no problem, but we came back to finish. The ref handled everything. Morocco missed a penalty. You handed over a trophy to us, wrote our names in the record that we had won the AFCON. So how come 2 months later you are saying something different? So I suspect that will be a key part of the argument. On the CAF side, my suspicion will be that if they have to make an argument, they will use the rules and whatever other evidence they may have on which they stood to hand or to deliver the ruling, right? Because I'm sure Morocco must have filed a case with CAF. CAF must have looked at the case Morocco had. They believe, or the appeals board believed Morocco's case. They had merit, and that is why they came to that decision. So I guess CAF will see all the things that they used. Okay, you said Morocco had a case. On which merit? CAF will present it. This is what they brought. Or the Moroccans say, this is what we took to CAF. Look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. Then Senegal too will have to make a counter argument. It will be an interesting thing. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to hear. No, you see, and I like this matter because we all need to understand, before a judge or before a court, I've come to understand that the superior argument is the one that wins. Not necessarily
the one who has a case.
Not necessarily the one who has a case.
Okay. Nathan, Selassie is on. But, again, I'm curious about one thing. Why Morocco have been joined to the suit? Because, it's a straight shootout between CAF and Senegal. But let's get onto the lines and speak to legal practitioner, lawyer Selassie Adika. Selassie, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Good morning, Raymond, and good morning to your cherished listeners, and good morning to Nathan.
Hi, Mr. Adika. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Yes, we are fine. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Selassie, finally, Senegal have entered an appeal at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And we are trying to understand a few things with regards to the procedures. First of all, CAS yesterday confirmed that they have jurisdiction over this matter. They have jurisdiction to adjudicate this particular matter. Help us understand what CAF means by that.
CAS
means by that, yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you. So CAS rules on its own jurisdiction, right? Most of this these cases that go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport are a product of an arbitration agreement of some sort. Okay.
Yeah.
Either a private arbitration agreement that says that if we have any disputes, we trust CAS to have the competence and the integrity and fairness to hear both sides and to pronounce a decision. So it's either in a private CAS deals with more than just sports. It also deals with commercial matters. So you can find it in a private arbitration agreement, or you can also find it in these rules that govern these organizations like CAF, the GFA, even FIFA itself. So you've seen FIFA officials take FIFA to CAS. You saw Sepp Blatter and Platini, right? So in this case, in the CAF regulations somewhere, either in the statute itself or the disciplinary code, there will be language in there that says that everyone who is subject to this regulation has agreed that CAS will be the final arbiter in any disputes between them. Or not the final arbiter, because the escalation, right? The highest point of escalation. Because when CAS makes decisions, they are also subject to the Swiss tribunal. So that's why I qualify that. So it's because there's an agreement between the domestic federations, which is the Moroccan Federation, the Senegalese Federation, and CAF, to settle their disputes at CAS.
Okay. Now, Selassie, CAS has given some hints here with regards to the procedural calendar. So we are told that the appellant would have 20 days to file an appeal brief, and then the respondent would also have further 20 days to submit their statement of defense and all. When it comes to procedures, I mean, take us through how a typical case like this would work. What procedures would actually take place for a case like this?
Yeah, so typically, the procedure starts with written. So obviously, the initiating document, right?
Yeah.
There are two types of procedures at CAS. There's an appeal, and then there are direct proceedings. So, like I said, if there's an arbitration agreement that says that, hey, if you do something and I'm not in agreement with it, I can just go to CAS. That is a direct arbitration procedure. Okay. So you initiate the procedure. But then when you have an appellate procedure, and then we have the appellate procedure, which is what this falls squarely under, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is that you have a time limit, 21 days, at which you are supposed to transmit your statement of appeal, right? Your notice of appeal and statement of appeal. Typically, they would be done in unison. The notice of appeal and the appeal brief will be done in unison. But in this instance, obviously, when CAF came out with their decision, they implored the parties to request a reasoned decision, right, within a set time.
Yeah.
So I believe they've done that, and that is the reason why, if you notice, the Senegalese Federation has asked that the time to file the full brief be suspended because they don't have the full grounds. That they are aggrieved, they see certain legal infirmities in the decision, but in order to fully canvass all legal arguments, they need to have a full decision, to review and then make sure they canvass every single legal point they can stand on in a quest for a reversal of the decision. So in this case, they've asked for the 20-day timeline to be told. I think they had a shorter period because it's 10 days after you filed the initial brief. They might have some time left over because it looks like they went very early. I don't think it's 21 days since the decision came out.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen now is the other side is going to be notified, which is CAF. I believe they've also added the Moroccan Federation.
Yeah.
The reason, and I noticed you asked a question about that. The reason is that the decision can only bind the Moroccan Federation if they are party to it. So there are two things that can happen. You can, because it's an appeal, it's between the respondent and CAF. But they've joined the Moroccans for so it binds them, So there's not a multiplicity of litigation going on. So that's the reason for that. So I think what's going to happen now is CAF is typically very receptive of timely filed requests for extensions, especially the first time. And in light of the fact that CAF itself has said that it would release a reasoned decision in due course, I believe the Senegalese will be granted this suspension of time in order to get the full reasoned decision from CAF. To do that. Once they do that, the respondents will have 20 days to respond. And then after that, during that time, there'll be issues of the payment of the arbitration, the cost of arbitration, and then the appointment of, first of all, they'll have to choose whether they want to go with a full panel or they want to go with just one arbitrator. So those administrative issues will be going on behind the scenes for a while. As the respondents also prepare and file their response. Then after that, it gets submitted to either the panel or the sole arbitrator, and then
In matters like this, between the panel and the sole arbitrator, which one do you think the parties would consider, especially the appellant?
Well, oftentimes in straightforward cases, where there is a sense of urgency, right? Because some of these cases, there are leagues going on, there are tournaments coming up. In those instances, there might be an advantage in going with the sole arbitrator, right? Obviously, because trying to get three very busy legal scholars together it's not easy, and to agree on a calendar, on a date to have a hearing, and So, but this is obviously, CAF came out a few days ago and let the world know that this is actually a very big case, and that they look forward to being the ones who would decide it. So, I think this is going to is going to be a full panel. It appears very simple, but I think the legal issues that will be raised will be somehow complex and would require some thorough research and reasoning, because there's a lot of novelty to a lot of this. There's the issues of the on-field decision versus the off-field decision, whether this is that or not, and you can trust legal scholars to really dissect it. So I think it's going to get a full panel.
Now, Selassie, when we say a case is at CAS and there's an appellant, there's a respondent, are we expecting to see lawyers with their suitcases traveling to Switzerland back and forth to get this matter heard, or there are other ways some of these things are resolved?
Yeah, the world has changed. Even as when I first started doing this type of work in about 2003, 2004, 2005, the hearings were virtual, and post-pandemic, virtual has become the order of the day. So I don't envision any of that. Most of these things are, the procedure obviously is a written procedure. This is the law we are talking about.
Yeah.
This is not something that involves the use of physical evidence, and it's straightforward. All happiness on video. So I think it will be, but the thing is that the heavy lifting is in the research and academic work, So that's what's going to really take some time.
Now, CAS has acknowledged that, fans would be eager for the final decision, and they would make sure all of this is concluded as swiftly as possible. With your experience on this job, having dealt with cases at CAS, how soon can this be settled?
Like I said on your show a few weeks ago, I think this is about 6 months to 9 months.
Okay,
this should conclude. Yeah.
Even with the interest.
The next AFCON, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
I see the rival positions of people stitching on the style on the new jerseys that have come out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a point, that could be used to push for, to push the case of urgency and for a faster decision. But
Right. Selassie, we would say a big thank you to you for joining us on the show, for sharing your thoughts with us. But looking at how things stand now, I mean, where do you how do you think Senegal would be approaching this? I mean, in terms of trying to build a case for themselves.
Yeah.
How do they approach it?
Yeah, great question. Because last time I was on your show, I thought there would be no dispute as to culpability, but it looks like they're going to raise issues of. They're specifically asking that the decision be set aside and for Senegal to be declared the rightful winners. So it looks like they're going to, they're probably going to contest perhaps the language of the CAF rules and its application to the conduct. And then if that's not successful, then perhaps they'll go to the proportionality and argue that, even if we are culpable, the appropriate sanction is not to strip us off the title. So,
right. Selassie, I would like to say a big thank you to you for taking time off your busy schedule to talk to us. It's been a pleasure always engaging you.
Always, as always. Thank you, Raymond.
Have a good day, Selassie. That was lawyer Selassie Adika. He has handled a lot of cases at CAS and a very good resource person to speak to when it comes to matters like this. We didn't get into the articles of as to whether Senegal have a case or Morocco have a case or CAF has a case to answer. But I mean, just a bit of insights on the procedures and how long this could take. And I mean, CAS has confirmed that they want to do this as swiftly as possible, but timelines could possibly be between 6 and 9 months. So we'll see how things go. But Kevin also inside the studio with me. Kevo, welcome back.
Thanks, Raymond.
I mean, lawyer has spoken yesterday. You saw the media release from CAS. Senegal in business.
Well, I think that we're all going to. They were never going to go down with a fight. Going down without a fight. They would always fight for what they think that is theirs, what they believe is right. I think that nobody would come to this AFCON tournament, invest a lot in these players, their energy, their time, and even from after the new, decision was made by CAF, you could just feel the reach amongst them. Eliman Ndiaye scoring and saying to the screens that I am African champion, we are African champions, we are champions. It clearly gave you that indication, and it was just a matter of time. Many were worried that they did not file it quite early. They were expecting that as quickly as possible, Senegal were just going to, just get it in. But all these issues have to, because it has legal backings and all that, they just had to make sure they put their defense in a very strong statement so that at least they wouldn't have any issues, because this is their last resort to getting their trophy and medals back. And if it doesn't work, it means that, yes, they will lose the trophy and the medals, and then they wouldn't be called African champions, and it goes to Morocco. As now, Morocco, on the books of CAF and the world, are African champions. So I think it's great. We'll wait to see what the Court of Arbitration for Sports, brings. And just as we know, very trusted, body. You cannot, downplay their capabilities with regards to some of these, issues, and they are very much knowledgeable on that. We'll just wait to see. Nobody knows whatever they've put in their defense, whatever they've said, in their documents presented to CAS. But some of us still believe that this is a case that shouldn't really bother Senegal. They are just going to get back their trophy and their medals. And Morocco, who are even called champions now, you see, they cannot even celebrate it properly. Senegal are still celebrating with the trophy and the medals because they don't even have the medals. I don't know whether they'll be expecting a new celebration or new medals to be made for them by CAF. So I think it's quite a good step, and we just hope that, Senegal will go on to. Remember when the issue happened, there were people who were former adjudicators on the CAS who were saying they think that Senegal have a good case and all that. And, Selassie has also made mention of it. And we just hope, yes, some of us are hoping that, the case will go in their favor.
Well, with these type of matters, I mean,
it's dicey. It's
just like
dicey.
Nathan said, I mean, the argument that makes the most convincing points obviously gets to.
And the right interpretation of the rules too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there are so many loopholes, loose ends in there. The ground that it wasn't specified. What ground are you talking about?
Walking off the
ground
feature.
For feature and all that? All those terminologies would need to find its right explanation, and would wait to see that. And I think that they say the law lies in the bosom of what?
Of the judge.
Exactly.
Yes,
so we would wait for that final judgment and see if they would explain all these things. And I'm sure going forward, CAF should be clear. The ambiguity.
Kevin,
the ambiguity with regards to these issues.
Kevin, let me ask you this. We always say there's freedom of speech, right? In this country, freedom of speech. Right?
But you shouldn't trample on any other.
You see, but there's always a but, right?
Yeah.
But that's how I want to say, it's freedom of speech. I've said what I like.
You cannot do that.
Then, so you can say a particular thing, and the lawyers will say, well, this doesn't fall within the threshold of you didn't trample on somebody else's right. And then it becomes an argument. And then this law that seems straightforward becomes ambiguous. Just because someone has given one statement another interpretation. I mean, that's how the law is. And that's what makes the law dynamic. That's what makes it exciting. So, I mean, almost every article, any rule book, looks straightforward until its position. You remember until recently, there was a political case of you losing your seat if you decide to go independent.
Yeah.
We also saw how it was in the past, and how it was interpreted recently.
Yeah.
A law that seemed straightforward. On reading. I mean, that's the beauty of the law. We'd see how Senegal, Morocco, and CAF deal with this matter. But CAF says they would provide media with accurate and updated information on a hearing if and when scheduled. Proceedings, whilst ongoing, are confidential. So they would provide information to us as and when. So we'll leave it there. But Senegal, we wish them well. For CAF and Morocco, we wish them well as well. We'll be following this case keenly, and we'll be bringing listeners up to speed on every update from CAS concerning this matter. You are still live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. This is Sporty FM, and this is Ghana's #1 sports morning show, Sporty Breakfast. And yesterday, something very monumental happened in Ghana. Something very exciting, something very interesting, something big. And it's on the athletics front. Yesterday, there was a big launch. There was a launch of the 24th CAA Africa Senior Athletics Championship. And that event was held at the Accra Sports Stadium. Accra 2026 is slated for May 12 to May 17, 2026. And it's a big gathering of some of the top athletes on the Africa continent. Well, Kevin also was there yesterday. Kevo, bring us up to speed on everything that happened there yesterday.
Well, I think it was quite a good, a brief, ceremony. I think in tops 1 hour 20 minutes, everything was done. Just that as usual, it couldn't start as early as you'd expect. The 6:30 you had to travel to a little close to 7 before it started. But the top dignitaries, GOC president, the Ghana Athletics Federation president and vice, other representatives were various sports journalists, the sports minister Kofi Adams, very much present, and all other federations having their presidents present in there. Bernard Mona made an appearance also in there. We saw a number of very top dignitaries, and I think that the speeches, NSC Director Yampo Fonka was also the Director General with his assistant Veronica Comey. They were all present. It was quite a brief ceremony, and clearly this thing was known a little over 5 months ago. last year, we got to know that yes, Ghana won the bid over Botswana to host this, and the MOU was signed between the government, the Confederation of African Athletics, and the Ghana Athletics, Federation. So, Kofi Adams spoke. Obviously, government's commitment cannot be
talking about
erased.
Talking about not to catch you, but talking about Kofi Adams, he said quite a lot. If you can, just
it is
allow me.
For me.
So Honorable Kofi Adams spoke at that event yesterday, and if I could just help you by just getting listeners to listen to a bit of what Honorable Kofi Adams said yesterday at the launch of the CAA Africa Senior Athletics Championship. So let's listen to the Honorable Sports Minister.
It is for me with a deep sense of responsibility that I stand here to officially launch the 24th African Senior Athletic Championship, Accra 2026. From the moment Ghana was given the opportunity to host this championship, we have approached it with a clear sense of responsibility. We have engaged closely with the Confederation of African Athletics and worked through the local organizing committee to ensure that the foundations are properly laid.
Sporty FM.
On behalf of the government of Ghana, I want to assure you that we are fully committed to delivering a successful championship. This commitment, ladies and gentlemen, is supported at the highest level and under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. There is a clear understanding that every sport, and I mean every sport, must be given the space to grow and thrive. And every sport will be given the space to grow and thrive. And it is to this that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama saw to it that in less than 1 year in office, we worked through to make sure that the Ghana Sports Fund has been established. And all of us will bear witness that this is the structured funding process we have been looking for. Athletics holds a special place in our national history. From the days of Mike Ahe to the remarkable contributions of Ali Senum, this sport has consistently projected Ghana onto the international stage. Today, we continue to see that same promise in athletes like Abdul Rashid Saminu and Rose Yeboah, who are representing Ghana with strength and discipline. Their performances remind us that the foundation is stronger and the future is within reach.
Sporty FM.
At the grassroots level, the story is even more encouraging. Across our schools, athletics remains one of the most vibrant and competitive space. Many of us here will bear witness in the days when we were in school that athletics registered the best of times in our school days, where we gather together and the entire school will celebrate. And so athletics remain a sport that if we invest in it right, it will galvanize our nation and bring it development. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, in Kumasi, the inter-school competitions once again showed the level of talent and the passion that exists amongst our young people. And one of them is here, and we celebrate you again, our young sister. The next generation, I must say, is ready, and what they need is opportunity, structure, and support. This is all they need from us. Let's give them the opportunity. The opportunity the Ghana Athletics is giving these young persons. Let's give them a structure and let's give them the support. We should not have a situation where any athlete, whether amateur or professional, will run barefoot without spikes. The story is not right that we still have some regions that don't have running tracks, proper running tracks. They still do it on undulating tracks. This is not a story to tell. These young people need opportunity, they need structure, and they need support. Ladies and gentlemen, Accra 2026 must provide a platform for these young athletes to see what is possible. And that is where I agree with the president of GOC when he says we must create space for the young ones, the amateur from schools, to witness what the senior ones will be doing, and it will serve as a basis of what? Encouraging them. It must help us strengthen pathways and deepen mentorship and build a system that supports long-term development. Government has already taken steps in this direction by establishing the Ghana Sports Fund, which is designed to support talent development, infrastructure, and the overall growth of sports. Athletics stands to benefit significantly from this renewed focus, not because the minister loves athletics, but because it deserves that support. Ladies and gentlemen, there is also an important commercial dimension to this conversation. Athletics is a household product in our sports industry. What we need to give is a strong branding and a market positioning that attracts the right corporate investment. With the right structure, visibility, and storytelling, it can become a space where brands see value and choose to associate. To corporate Ghana,
Sporty FM.
I want to extend a sincere invitation. Africa is coming to Accra. The continent's best athletes will be here, and the attention will be significant. This is the time to come on board, to partner and to be part of building something meaningful. To our brothers and sisters across Africa, we look forward to welcoming you. When you arrive in Accra, we want you to feel at home. Ghana is ready to host, ready to organize, and ready to deliver a championship that reflects the best of our continent. Let us work together to make Accra 2026 a moment that moves athletics forward. And to us, Ghana, a lot of things are positioning themselves right. I don't know why the Ghana Athletics chose today, Wednesday, to launch Accra 2026. I say so because Wednesday has become a special day in Ghana. The day where we have declared it as the Fugu Day. Something nearly went amiss, and as Ghanaians as we are, we took the moment, and now we are driving a product that everybody is looking for. Interestingly, the event that we are launching here, Accra 2026, is starting on the 12th of May. And exactly a month later, on the 11th of June, we will start the World Cup. Ghana is hosting to win here, and Ghana will participate in the World Cup again to make a great impact. Many things are aligning for us for good.
And that was the Honorable Minister for Sports and Recreation, Honorable Kofi Adams, speaking there at the launch of the Africa Senior Athletics Championships, slated for May 12 to May 17 here at the University of Ghana Stadium. It's Accra 2026, and the Minister had some very solid words in there, Kelvin, speaking about the need for the sports to be positioned to attract the level of interest they require in terms of sponsorship and partnership, called on corporate Ghana to support, and also spoke about the fact that a lot needs to be done to make sure athletics is given the right footing to help nurture the upcoming ones. Very, very strong statement there from the sports minister.
Well, very strong, and like I said, this is something they've accepted. You know, there's been over close to a year now that they accepted, and 5 months ago, they signed that memorandum of understanding to get it, and we are happy that this one is just our 2 months to the tournament, from the 12th to the 17th of May, so roughly a little over a month.
Yeah, so some 49 days.
Exactly. Now, we are just hoping, and I'm sure by this time you cannot say no. You cannot say you cannot host the games. So earnest preparations. The reason why the University of Ghana Stadium has been closed down and had to folk this weekend will have to use the Accra Sports Stadium for their matches, because that facility has to be put into good use. Hopefully, Boteman and all others that will be other facilities that may be used, will be put into good use. But the University of Ghana is definitely obviously going to host
major games.
Exactly, because with athletics, most of them, the track and field event, it's Legon that can host a lot more of that. Now, I think it's a huge responsibility. If Ghana was given recently the Africa Games, and then the West Africa also Athletics Championship, Zonal Athletics Championship, it clearly gives an indication of the trust that the continent is having with regards to Ghana hosting sports tournaments and championships. What we cannot do is to disappoint.
Yeah.
We cannot afford to disappoint. We must put the facilities in the best conditions ever. And, this gets us back to, why we think that the Africa Games, we missed an opportunity to put together proper top-class facilities. And this championship is coming up just, I think, 2 weeks or a week after Botswana have hosted the release.
Yeah.
Which means they are going to lift the standard. The bar will be lifted. We might have trained lots of technical expertise during the African Games, but this is specific with regards to athletics, just athletics, track and field, which means you would have a lot to do. You would have lots to do with regards to getting the right, detailed expertise, special expertise on each of the games, not the general ones that we had. Mm-hmm. Now, many will be thinking about, issues of transportation and then congestion. Luckily, by that time, the University of Ghana would have vacated.
Yeah.
They'll be on vacation, so you'd have, a bit more of a relaxed atmosphere and movement around that particular area. So a lot of things will be happening, and I just hope that this time around we will not disappoint, and hopefully it will come to pass. There are certain, deliverables that Ghana cannot afford to miss. Electric crowd, and it's quite unfortunate the students may not be available. I don't know whether they are going to some to stay in behind and then make sure that they are going to provide a significant pool of athletes will be coming from across the world, over 1,000 or close to 1,000. You should expect that athletes and coaches and all that contingent. It means that accommodation facilities, food and all that. There shouldn't be complaints like the African Games when it happened. People were complaining about meals and all that.
Yeah.
And I just hope that the right, times. It's just a little over. It's 5 days or 6 days maximum, because 12th to 17th, 6 days.
Yes, in between that.
Which means we should be able to make sure that the very best of organization will happen. We don't want the African Games with the tax and all that to become a mess again. And I'm sure that Honorable Kofi Adams is very much involved in this, and he knows that this is a good opportunity to sell Ghana to the world once again. Now, one thing that it's becoming is that maybe the African Games might be a blueprint, but this is an opportunity to perform better than the African Games.
That's right.
Which we strongly believe that, yes, the ministry, Ghana Athletics, and all other stakeholders involved will get to that this is not a competition that we can afford to miss. Beyond the main track, the state of the warm-up track, the field event zones, the medical facilities. And thankfully, just close to the stadium is one of the best medical facilities we have, in the city. That is UGMC.
Yeah.
So, you are trusted of with regards to
quality medical support.
Yes, with regards to emergencies and all that. Athlete call room, that these should meet the international standards, because the Sebastian Coe is expected to make an appearance.
Yeah.
So we cannot afford to give less or little of what we share. Because remember, the athletes, the last time they went to Douala, made lots of complaints.
Yeah.
The likes of even Teboho might not have complained, but he was really not happy. The likes of Toby Amusan and the likes complain about it. All these top athletes are expected to drop in there. Akani Simbine, Vanier Kek, and all that. All those guys are expected to be in there. So you know that you cannot afford. We need to be ready by then.
These are athletes who are used to world standards.
Exactly. We are not seeing a lot, but I just hope that behind the scenes,
a lot is
going on because we need to set the pace. We need to make sure that Africa's best. Someone will say creme de la creme is dropping, so you cannot give less of the standards from international levels.
And let's hear from one man who is expected to be in the thick of things, the president of Ghana, Mr. Bawa Husseini. Let's hear what he said at the launch yesterday. We'll come back and get into a bit of what he said. So, Bawa Husseini speaking at the launch of the Africa Senior Athletics Championship.
Today marks very important milestone in the history of Ghana athletics. Today's journey started 2 years ago in Cameroon, where Ghana bidded and won the right to host the 24th edition of African Athletic Championship here in Accra. It was not an easy contest, beating a very big athletic country like Botswana. And today, here we are. The Honorable Minister will do something important to put eyes on the cake for the African athletics. Why Ghana? Ghana is very important in terms of athletics. Ghana has proved its worth, not only in organization, but also in performance. Sporty. What happened last 2 years in Ghana here during the African Games shows the whole world that Ghana has come of age in terms of athletics, organization, and performance. And it is not surprising that the whole 54 African countries are yearning to come to Africa, coming to Ghana, I should say. Not only are they coming to participate, but they are bringing along with them the finest athletes in Africa in terms of world champions and Olympic gold medalists. If you look at our sizes, we have consciously printed world and Olympic champions to be part of this program. On my left side, there's a lady called Kipchoge Fitz. He has won consecutively 5 world champions.
Sporty FM.
And she holds the world record in 5,000 meters. She's coming to compete in Ghana. On my right hand, a young lady from Kenya, also called Kibet Beatrice. She has also won 10,000 meters in the last Paris Olympics. She holds the 10,000 record. She also holds world championship record. She's also coming to compete in Ghana. We have the South African 4x100 team. Currently, they are the 3rd fastest in the world. They will be coming to Ghana. And of course, our own athletes, the best 4x4 team in the world, the Botswana 4x4, they are coming to Ghana. So this is what Ghana is going to show to the whole world. This has never happened in the history of athletics in Africa, where this galaxy of athletes, especially from Kenya and Ethiopia, will compete in. Honorable Minister,
Sporty FM.
we will continue to put Ghana on top of African athletics, and we have the opportunity to showcase Ghana not only in sports, but also in culture and in tradition and in Ghana hospitality. We want everybody to come and experience Ghana during this African Championship. It is going to be hosted at the University of Ghana. We have one of the best Mondo tracks in the world. What we have here is equivalent to what the athletes use in Paris. It is the best in the world. So when they are coming to Ghana, they know that they are coming to perform on the best.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
And through the support of the Honorable Minister and Chief Director, we are procuring additional electronic timing equipment to augment what we have to the standards of World Championship and Olympic level. So what is going to happen in Ghana is going to be unprecedented in Africa. We don't want what happened in Kenya, what happened in Nigeria to happen in Ghana. We also have one of the finest group of international technical officials. We've trained them. They are about 120, but we are using hundreds. And the technical official from Confederation of African Athletics will be in Ghana on the 7th to run these technical officials on the refresher course for 3 days, so that we are not going to put anything by chance. We are prepared with the support of the minister and the government. Everything is going as scheduled, and Ghana will be a place to be between 12th of May to the 17th of May.
And that was President of Ghana Athletics, Bawa Hussein is speaking there at the launch, and he said very nice things. He's waxing lyrical about the state of or the kind of tournament you should expect here in Accra at the University of Ghana Stadium, and the quality of athletes who will be here. He spoke about the Botswana 4x400 relay team, Lechile Tibogo, Bayopo, and the likes. They will be here. And then you can also talk about Ferdinand Omanyala. Also, he'll be here as well. And then a few other athletes from Nigeria. You know, the Nigerians did very well at the World Athletics Championships. We saw a lot of them get into finals, a lot of them winning their heats and all. So a lot of these athletes will be here as well. And then, of course, on the women's front, in the women's field, you have Marita Lu and the likes all coming. So it promises to be exciting. Kelvin, Baf Hussein is speaking about what to look forward to as far as this tournament is concerned. And it almost looks like they seem to know Baf Hussein and Ghana Athletics seem to know their stuff very well. They seem to know exactly what level and kind of tournament they want to host for the rest of Africa.
Well, I think that, this athletics keeps getting better. Even recently with the games we saw over the weekend, when we saw some wonderful the indoor 60 meters and all that as warm up to the new season, could clearly see it was an upgrade. The likes of Tamberi were absent, but you could clearly see the planters and the Greek guy who normally battles him to second and third. They were present. You could see the standards being lifted every single time. Now, what this could do for us is an opportunity to give our athletes the very best of international, exposure, especially the young ones we recently got in from, the inter-schools and colleges. The Cape Coast Open was had just about 2 weeks ago. In April, I think on the 11th and 12th, the Accra Open would also be held at the University of Ghana Stadium, which now gives an opportunity for these youngsters to start experiencing the very best. And if you have these young lads, let's imagine Blizzard, who has gotten an opportunity to race 400 meters with, one of the 400 or all of the 400, meters runners for Botswana. It would clearly give him that sense of, motivation,
give you confidence, a lot of
confidence to move into the next level. So I think yes, we may be looking at this on the party that Ghana is hosting it, we are hosting it, but there is more beyond that, because this grants us an opportunity to get the very best of training and preparation for our athletes and even our coaches. Yesterday, after the event, we were having a discussion. I was talking about this being a great opportunity to find the very best of trainers, the very best of education for our athletes and then our coaches. We don't expect that you'd have a volleyball coach taking charge of, the athletes, the sprinters. Nobody would want to see that. You don't want to have a long jump expert or a high jump expert taking charge of, the relay team. This is a great opportunity to put the right pegs in the right holes and not square pegs in, round holes. Because once you do that, it means that you've just really gone back to relive years back. And we don't want that to happen. So we just want to see an upgrade. And Baf Husseini and the rest of the Athletics Federation, Charles Osesibe, who is his deputy, knows, they clearly know that this is something they cannot joke with. It is something great, something big that they quickly or they need to really have control over. And I just hope that it works to perfection. Like I said, the government is involved in this. They cannot slack. And all the athletes to know that this is a great opportunity. They cannot disappoint. And I just hope that our athletes will be put together the right way, because Nigeria will be coming to spoil the party, whether you like it or not.
Of course.
The rivalry is on. They don't care about whatever is happening. And other people will try to come and then spoil the party, especially our 4x100 meters. They are the defending champions.
Yeah.
Now you need to put them in good shape. Let's not just think about just the organization, because when you see hosts at tournaments, they do well. They normally do well, such that at least certain disciplines, they manage to win lots of, at least some appreciable number of medals to place well. During the Africa Games, we saw it. Ordinarily, Ghana, you wouldn't have seen, but we managed to pull, some great deal of medals.
Yeah.
So hopefully, we put our athletes in the best of training, best of performance, so that they can, give us the very best at the game. So we should be looking at that. And as much as we are looking at logistics, organization, everything, they should be looking at that. But in all this, it's about money.
Yeah.
If there is money involved, you put the right people in the right places. There may be, money may be available, but you may have people going to give, the A4 sheet and as tax.
As tax.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want standards.
Yeah.
We should live it. We should live it to the billion, to the very top. Well appreciable, world-class standards, so that going forward, people will not think twice about bringing an event to Ghana. And you just said the sports minister was mentioning corporate bodies. It's a huge one. It looks like they are getting overburdened because corporate Ghana is doing so much in a space of about 6 months.
There's a World Cup. There's a sports fund.
But they've also been at liberty for a very long time, so they should.
But they've been contributing.
Exactly, but I think they've been at liberty for quite a long time. But you can also say that when it comes at a goal like that, a bunch at one single moment, it becomes difficult because they may not be able to, pull their strength too much to the elastic limits. So let's just wait and see. But this is all about investment, and hopefully the government and everyone involved gets the money that will help us pull this off. And like I said, on the side of the athletes and preparation, we cannot fail to disappoint this time around.
Well, speaking about preparation, Jan Pofrankra was there yesterday at the launch. Jan Pofrankra is the Director General of the National Sports Authority, and he's credited with preparing most of our grounds for during our World Cup qualifiers, making sure the right things were put in place, and also he made sure that everything we needed to protect our pitches during the Christmas festivities he brought on board, and he would be responsible partly for making sure the University of Ghana Stadium is up to standard for this year's competition, despite the fact that it doesn't directly fall under the NSA. His input will be very important. Let's listen to Jan Pofrankra at the launch of yesterday's Africa Senior Athletics Championships.
In Cameroon in 2024, where Ghana excelled in Douala, and hopefully Ghana can defend its title in the hottest race of man in the world. So Ghana has the privilege to host this year's edition after successfully delivering the 13 African Games. Memories of that come flowing back as Ghana took center stage and did excel and deliver. Of course, the Accra Sports Stadium is home to Ghanaian sports, culture, and more. Home to numerous events, including African Cup of Nations victories. And of course, we've seen these great talents grace this very stadium. Margaret Simpson, Aziz Zachary, Eric Nkansa, the list goes on. 22 years ago, the last athletics event was held here in 2004, before the stadium was re-engineered to host the CAN. Unfortunately, since then, we've not been graced to have athletics here at the Accra Sports Stadium. However, that does not mean we will not have a fantastic games at the University of Ghana, where the athletes will soar, run, and rise once again. It's always an honor to host a tournament, a competition, and for Ghana, this is no different. As we've seen, and as we'll hear from the Honorable Sports Minister, it is not just about sports, but it's beyond. Anytime we gather for sports, it's an opportunity to put Ghana on the pedestal in other areas. Experiences shared, obviously, would also continue for many years and will be an elevation for other areas. The organizers have done a tremendous job in ensuring that potentially all 54 African countries will be here to compete in this year's edition. To the media, a lot is expected of you as always, as a mouthpiece, the voice, the eyes, and the directors of this competition. We look forward to having a great competition, and of course, may the best athletes, the best team, Ghana, win.
And that was Jan Pofrankra, the Director General of the National Sports Authority, speaking there at the launch of the Africa Senior Athletics Championships. And let me remind listeners and viewers that, of course, Sporty FM will be in the thick of things. Sporty FM would make sure we bring you boots on ground reports from the University of Ghana Stadium. We will be heavy as far as the preparations to the tournament is concerned. We will be bringing you updates on what's been done, what has been done, which athletes will be coming. We'll be bringing you extensive build-up to this year's Senior Athletics Championship. So just stay with us. Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Sporty FM has you covered. Sporty FM, as always, we are the voice of sport, and so we'll make sure we keep you in the loop as far as this particular competition is concerned. But yesterday, at the event, Yao Ofosulabi, he put together a very super piece, a very solid piece on the history of Ghana athletics, where we were, how we've evolved over the years, and where we are today. So let's listen to, for those of you who want to properly understand why we are doing this, why Ghana is hosting the Senior Athletics Championships, why athletics, that seemed to be one of the most talked about sport in the past, hasn't been talked about in the same manner recently. Let's listen to this to refresh our minds once again on where we've been as far as athletics in Ghana is concerned. This is a piece put together by Yao Ofosulabi of our sports team. And Yao Ofosulabi is the lead content creator when it comes to Sporty stories. He's the head of features here at Sporty FM. Let's listen to this, and we'll be back to wrap up on the launch we witnessed yesterday.
From producing world-class sprinters to nurturing rising talent, Ghana has long been part of Africa's grand athletic story. Let's begin here. In the 1960s, when our nation was a big powerhouse on the track, the high point of the success came in 1966 at the Commonwealth Games, when the country won gold in the 4x100 relay race, pipping host Jamaica to the title. The men that day were J. Adi, Kwesi Mens, Stanley Fabian Alote, and Ebenezer Okoadi. They ran that life-changing race that etched their names in gold. This year marks 60 years since then, and the memory of it, for many who lived it, is still fresh. Another name that lit up those years was Mike Ahey. Ahey was an all-round athlete. He won gold at the 1962 Commonwealth Games in long jump, and then went on to win the 4x100 relay race in that same competition 8 years later in Edinburgh. The women were excellent too. There was Alisa Num, nicknamed the Baby Jet in those years, who won 2 silver medals in 1970 in the 100 and 200 meter races. Her diminutive nature made her unstoppable. At full pelt, she moved like a bullet, fired from a rifle with accuracy and precision.
But it's Ray Boyle, winner of the 100 metres, who now wins the gold at 200 metres.
She added a number of gold medals to her name from the African Games. And then Rose Hart, who also competed in discus throw and was a star on the track. The 70s saw the emergence of powerful sprinters Ohene Kakari, George Daniels, and Hane Friye, who won 5 gold medals in 2 competitions for Ghana. The star of the 80s was Professor Francis Dodu. In 1987, he set the African Games triple jump record in Nairobi, Kenya, that has not been broken till date. That is unprecedented greatness in the sport. In the not-so-distant past, the country has had stars like Aziz Zakari, Leo Miles Mills, Margaret Simpson, and Emmanuel Tufo. Ghana's athletics, however, is on the rise in these times. In 2019, at the African Games in Rabat, there was a great deal of success chalked there that has reflected in the progress the country has made. Ghana is known for sprinters, and the country has produced quite a number in the last few years that has kept our name on the lips of athletics enthusiasts. The stories of torchbearers, passed on by word of mouth and through visual representation, have shaped an emerging generation of track enthusiasts who are bold to defend the colors of Ghana forever. After his constant battles with Edwin Gadai at the annual Gusa Games, a festival for celebrating Ghana's finest sporting prospects at tertiary level. Benjamin Asamati announced himself as the light bearer of the new era, with explosiveness and power as his key assets. True to Asamati, Leo Miles Mills's 22-year-old 100-meter record was obliterated in 2022 after a blistering run that saw him stop the clock at 9.97 seconds. Despite his individual talents, it was in the collective that Ghana found joy. At the World Championships in 2022, a new national record was set by Ghana's quartet of Sean Safuentri, Benjamin Asamati, Joseph Odro, and Joseph Paul-Amoah at 38.07 seconds. The record was bettered 3 years later in September 2025 at the World Championships in Tokyo. Ghana left the Netherlands and Great Britain in their wake as they bolted their way to a national record in a time of 37.79 seconds. The African Games, which was hosted in 2024 in Ghana, was the last time fans had a close-up view of the track stars. At the University of Ghana Stadium, the nation converged as Joseph Paul-Amoah gave them a show in the 200-meter men's final. Ghana's 4x100-meter quartet narrowly missed out on a gold finish to fierce rivals, Nigeria. After a good showing at the World Championships in Tokyo last year, when he made the semi-final of the men's 100 meters and placed fourth in the 4x100 relay race, new boy and national record holder Rashid Saminu will be ready to light up the competition on home soil. His blistering run of 9.84 seconds to break the national record has given him the confidence to pursue bigger things, and this serves as a great opportunity. Since the completion of the University of Ghana Stadium, Accra has somewhat become a home of athletics. Last year, Ghana hosted the CAA Region 2 Athletics Championships that had neighboring West African countries compete in Accra. If the first parts, the 2023 African Games and the CAA Africa Region 2 Championships, was anything to go by, the coming together of Africa's finest athletes for the Africa Senior Athletics Championships from May 12 to 17 bodes well. With a star-studded list headlined by 200-meter Olympic gold medalist Letsile Tebogo, 400-meter world champion Busang Colin Kebinachipi, Africa's fastest man Ferdinand Omanyala, and Ivorian track star Marie-José Talou Smith, the University of Ghana Stadium is sure to ignite a different sense of athletic passion that will live long in the memory of Ghanaians and athletics lovers across the continent.
And that was put together by Yao Ofosulabi, head of features here at Sporty FM, bringing us a bit of what to look forward to as far as this year's Africa Senior Athletics Championships is concerned. And lock your calendars, book, do all your bookings and make sure you block 12th and 17th of May on your calendar. So between the 12th and the 17th of May, something big will be happening in Accra. And organizers say, feel the heat, right, Kelvin?
Yeah.
Feel the heat.
Feel the heat.
Yeah, feel the heat. The heat will be coming. So just mark your calendars. Between the 12th and the 17th of May 2026, all roads will lead to the University of Ghana Sports Stadium for a very big event headlined by some of the big athletes, here on the African continent. Kelvin, before we wrap up on this one, your quick takeaways from yesterday's launch, and tell Ghanaians what to expect as far as this particular one is concerned.
Well, if anything is to go by the words that they spelled, the messages, it clearly shows intent. It clearly shows that we are ready for whatever challenge we are braced up for, to give in the very best, and upgrading standards, getting better than what we provided in the last, tournaments or championships that we've hosted. So I expect, lots and lots, and especially some of the top athletes in the world are going to drop. Just like you had, from Bar, speaking about the likes of the 4x400 team, Letile Tebo, Akani Simbine, you're going to have Toby Amusan and the likes, our own Samino, Benjamin Azamati, and Joseph Polamo and the likes. You respect Vanille Cake from South Africa. All those ones, Fambule from Liberia, you want to see all of them come down to perform. So just expect mega. It's going to be bigger, better than even the Africa Games. The Africa Games, you don't have all these people playing, but with just athletics, you should expect that these ones are going to come down for it, because normally they don't really like to turn up for the African Games, or what we used to call the All African Games. But when it comes to just strictly athletics championship, we have the big names turning up. So hopefully we would have them on board to at least give us some wonderful performance. And this is the start of the season, so lots of them, after the release, they will still want to better their time, get better and improve, ahead of upcoming events that will be popping up. So fingers crossed, and we just hope that at the end of everything we'll get to see that another wonderful championship or sports event has been hosted by Ghana to continuously give us that sort of reputation from on the continent and even globally. Because if Sebastian Coe comes and then he's very much enthused with what we've done, and he raises whatever that was done in Douala after a year, then it means that you've done quite a decent job. So we just wish them the very best, Ghana Athletics, as well as GOC, who also supported, and the Sports Ministry, Government of Ghana, that this works to perfection.
Right. There's a lot to look forward to. We'll be building up to this event, and so just keep your dials logged on Sporty FM, because we would be heavy on the CAA Africa Senior Athletics Championships. But let's get onto the phone lines. Let's hear your thoughts. I mean, we've been speaking all morning. It's a good time to hand the microphone over to you. Give us a call, 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. You want to talk about the Black Stars and what they are doing in Vienna at the moment, you are free to do so. The Black Stars play Austria tomorrow. And you want to talk about Senegal's intent to file an appeal, finally getting the necessary input it needs. It has been received by CAS, the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And so the battle lines have been drawn. We'll get, if you want to speak about that as well, you are free to do so. And then the Senior Athletics Championships, you can speak about that as well. It was launched yesterday. Let's get onto the phone lines. I have a caller on the line. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning. Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Bill here, my country.
Hello, Bill. Let's hear you.
Yes. Good morning to everybody, to the listeners and later as well.
Right.
So, let me do a bit on the Black Stars. I think the talking should end here. Now let's support the team, and let's pray that we put up a good show against these two nations that we are going to play over the weekend and next week. I hope the players that have been called. You see, these are our final preparations towards the World Cup. So as Nathan said earlier on, those new ones that have been called into the squad, this is where they have to prove themselves, because there's no any other opportunity for them again. If they fail to do so, they shouldn't blame anybody for calling them once and dropping them, because we have a tournament ahead of us to go and perform. So therefore, if these two matches, they are unable to prove themselves, we rather drop them and go for the names that we already know. And also to the Ministry of Sports and all those people who are preparing to host the CC, whatever, African Championship, Athletic Championship. You see, we wish them well. This is what we talk about every day. But when we decide to build this country, in the long run, it will work for us. You see, the people spend a lot of money doing this. They bloated their mouth doing this. Let's see, if we put that aside, if these facilities were not in place, were we going to be able to be given the nod to host this? No. So therefore, we have to do well and do the infrastructure, put them in place for the country. And when we do so, things will be coming the country's way, even as we could not even wish for. Trust me, things will be coming because they know we have the facility, we were able to hold the All-African Games, therefore they know they can bring this here. And that is what we are looking for. This government should add up. They should add up where the previous government fell short in terms of the sports facility. They should be up and do better. We are looking forward for them to do better than the previous, and the next one that will come will also do better. Great. Good morning to all of us. I'm out.
Thank you very much. Let me say a big thank you to you, Anubil, for joining us on the show this morning. Yes, you can still give us a call, 0542 571061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Agree.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Michael.
Michael, let's hear you.
On the Black Stars, I disagree with anybody who says that we should look at the performance and not the results, because we have some of it, and then we have qualified to the World Cup. So these are the teams we'll be meeting at the World Cup, like the Germanys, the Austrians. Even though the performance we should be concerned about, but then the results too. Because if we are able to beat this Austrian team, we will have the confidence to beat Germany. And this confidence will carry us through to the match against Mexico and Wales. Then we'll use that momentum into the World Cup because we want to qualify and move to the next stage. So if we say we are concerned about the performance and not the results, we may perform very well. But then if we are beating everything, it will dampen our spirit in subsequent games so that when we get to the World Cup, we'll be able to, just turn out results when it matters most. So, my concern is we should be both concerned about the performance and the result, our identity, how we are going to play at the World Cup. But then we should have results. So imagine we beating Austria maybe a 1-0 or maybe a 2-1. It will give us the momentum, the confidence to beat Germany. So that even if we are not able to beat Germany and we get a draw against them, it will prepare us to manage them against Mexico, against Wales. Then we use that confidence into the World Cup so that we can do something meaningful. But then if we say we are concerned about the performance and we get beaten, even the performance will even get dampened our spirit so that we will be able to make a proper impact at the World Cup. So as for me, I'm for both the performance, our identity, our structure, and we should have results so that it will boost our confidence in subsequent games and even at the World Cup.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael, for joining us on the show this morning. You can also give us a call, 0542 571061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello. Okay. I don't have a call out there. But, Kelvin, there's a little matter of the World Cup qualifiers. And earlier on, I was speaking about the fact that there are qualifiers that will be played as far as the intercontinental playoffs is concerned, and also the European playoffs as well. So the European game has reached the semi-final stage. So lots of interesting games to look forward to as well. Let me quickly run you through some of the games, and then you share quick thoughts on the games that interest you. Turkey would play Romania, Czech Republic play Ireland, and then you have other games. Denmark play North Macedonia. Italy will play Northern Ireland. Poland play Albania. Slovakia take on Kosovo. Ukraine plays Sweden. And then Wales will play Bosnia-Herzegovina. So these are the games to look forward to. Kelvin, which games would you be following keenly? And which games have very interesting subplots about them?
Well, I think that many would be wondering why Italy is struggling to qualify for the World Cup. Amidst all the players that they have, the quality players that you can see them having. I think that Gattuso really has a daunting task. He really has a very big task on his hands to deliver. And this evening is the start of everything. They are playing at home first, and playing at home means that they should be able to get the best result. They are playing in Bergamo. So that means it's a venue that they should have, the vociferous support behind them. And I'm just waiting to see how they would be able to, get over this. Gattuso has been complaining about them not having an ample time for him to put together his measures, all that. But let's not forget that this is an Italian team that may have, individual qualities in certain, clubs.
Positions, yeah.
But they don't really have a perfect understanding to form the right chemistry. Like you had years ago when the likes of Del Piero and all others, you could just see them and then you knew, come on, things were just up for it. Now, look at the Italian team. Very good goalkeeper in Donnarumma. Riccardo Calafiori plays in the 3-back, with Bastoni and then either Mancini or any other who steps in. Now, in midfield, Locatelli always will be there. Luckily, Sandro Tonali has been playing really well for Newcastle United.
Yeah.
After his injury, he's really come back with a big bang. Di Marco, you cannot take anything away from that left wing back. Gives you every single bit.
Yeah.
The likes of Matteo Politano and others, Nicolo Barella, will be joining that midfield. And in attack, they don't have a bad player in Moise Kean and then Matteo Retegui. Federico Chiesa, Chiesa unfortunately once again battling with lots of injuries,
fitness issues, yeah.
and it's really a big one for them. But if Italy should stand any chance of progressing to the World Cup, they would have to get over the line in this particular fixture, the semi-final, and playing against Northern Ireland. There shouldn't be a team that should give Gattuso, a headache. We've seen Michael O'Neill. Yes, he might have had some very good performances in the last, but you look at this team, and I'm not sure they should be able to give Italy any headache. I expect that the Italians, the Azzurri, would show that, yes, their true colors, the blue, would be flying high today, and they should be able to get it. Now you go to another game, I think it's Poland-Albania. Albania, obviously, Granit Xhaka's brother, they are the one team there, and then Armando Broja. Remember that Chelsea? Armando Broja, yes. Yeah. They are the players but there's better Jim City, from Atalanta and all that. Nese Aligi, all these players are not. Aslani also. They seem to be also having some, names in there.
Quality players.
But you look at the Poland team and they have lots and lots spread across, especially led by the captain and lethal marksman, Robert Lewandowski up front. I saw the qualifiers and I was like, why are they dropping? Because Jan Orban is one of the managers that you see put together very solid teams. Now, in the defense, he may have to rely on Jakub Kiwior to really help, in organizing the back line together with Kezora. He has Matikash in there. And Orban is also like Italy and Gattuso. They always want to put the 3-back system, have Matikash on the right, and then any other player, maybe Skorac on the left-hand side. And then Peter Zelinski. There's also Zimanski. And then Jakub Kaminski. These are players that should be able to also do the job, at least for the first leg at home. Now, a lot of people have interest in Craig Bellamy as a player, very stubborn.
Yeah.
A very, very stubborn player.
Very good as well.
Very good, a very stubborn player. Now, he's looking at how he's going to get Wales to another World Cup. Unfortunately for him, a number of, injuries and, pull-outs by certain players. But he still has very good team. If you have Ethan Ampadu, if you have Neco Williams from Nottingham Forest, you see that left back, or at times plays as a right back, very excellent player. Daniel James, he hasn't really been excelling for Leeds United, but at the international stage, you clearly see his input in teams. Brennan Johnson, he's also in there, and then they have Harry Wilson, who will be expected to lead the lines, and give them something great. He's been performing so well for, his side, Fulham. Now he will be expected to actually lead this Wales team. And I'm sure that you look at them and they will be thinking, how do we get over the line against, Bosnia and Herzegovina, where they still have Edin Dzeko playing. He's not saying any goodbye. And Raymond, I know when you hear this name, you start shaking your head because you know that yes, they should. It gives credence for Andre to be part of the team.
Elsewhere, we retire players early.
So Eden Dzeko will be in there, and it's going to. I don't know how Bellamy would map up a strategy to stop him because he's too much to deal with. Strong on the ball, intelligent. He's lethal. By just a quick turn, he gives you worries. The likes of Siad Kolasinac. You remember the former Arsenal left back? Yes, Ama Memic. All these guys will be in there to help see if, Bosnia and Herzegovina can cause trouble. But I think that, playing at home first in Wales, Craig Bellamy would not have any excuse that anybody would understand. He should have a proper workout plan that could at least get them over the line in the semi-finals, and hopefully when they get to the final, anything can happen for them to book their ticket. But one interesting game that would also be coming up this evening is the game between Ukraine and Sweden.
Yes, Sweden for me. Sweden were atrocious during the qualifiers. It was very horrible. Their performance was nothing to write home about. I think at a point, Thomason was leading the team. Now it's Graham Potter, right?
Yeah.
Graham Potter now leads the team.
Yes.
During qualifiers, they finished bottom of their group. They had to sneak in via the UEFA Nations League rankings to actually sneak into the playoffs. They were very lucky to get another lifeline. Can they take advantage of this time against Ukraine?
We just hope. Because the team seems to have all the weapons that you would want to see. Unfortunately, Ishak is injured. But they still have Elanga. There's Victor Gyökeres. You get it? Larson, Yassin Ayari, Victor Lindelof in the back line with Isaac Hien.
Very good players.
Very good players they have in there. And for me, I think Graham Potter understands it, especially when a number of them are from the Premier League. He should be able to put them together. Though it's quite difficult for them to get results in Ukraine. Shevchenko did his best. He couldn't, so he was just gotten rid of. And now Rebrov has taken over the team. Yeah. They also equally have very, very good players, in there that you'd expect to get in. Unless they have a bad day.
Yeah.
They are quite a good to the likes of Zinchenko and all that have just been, pulled away. The recognizable player you can have in there is Anthony Trubin and then, Ilya Zabani in the heart of defense. And there is Vitaly Mikulenko from Everton, that left back. Yeah. So they equally have very good players. So if you play Ilanga on the right-hand side of attack, he's going to meet Mikulenko, who has clearly seen him in the Premier League and knows how to devise a strategy to stop him. I know Rebrov is going to be highly defensive at home, even though he's going to play at home, because he knows that if you leave the least opportunity, the least chance to Victor Gyökeres, Anthony Ilanga, they will punish you.
Yeah.
And Ilanga has picked up some very good form in as much as in the last 3 games he's managed to score twice. 2 of them came against Barcelona in the Champions League.
Big games, yeah.
Yes, very big games. He stepped up. So now you would have to make sure that you keep him at bay. And how are you going to do that? Mikulenko and Zabani may not be enough. But also at the rear of Sweden, they also have deficiencies. Victor Lindelof, Isaac Hien. Hien has an issue. Maybe Victor Love may be able to stand up. But you ask yourself, well, Isaac Hien will be able to match up, Sikankov. He's a player who plays as an outside forward.
Yeah. Likes
to take advantage of, loose ends in between the left back and then the left center half and get an opportunity to, smack in some very good drives from close range.
And you can have a very experienced striker in Yaremchuk as well.
Yeah, Yaremchuk, yes.
He plays for Lyon these days.
Yes. Hopefully he's going to start him because I see him starting Van Ack instead of, yes, him. But if he's able to start, then that means that there's also going to be a lot of run because these are the games that you need the experienced men to step up. And when they do, it becomes difficult. The national team is not a club side where you've built chemistry over quite a period. So if you have any lethal man, any, worrisome attacker giving troubles to your defense, it becomes problematic. I think that, yes, Sweden may try all that they can, but this game could end in a possible draw in Ukraine because Ukraine will not let their gas down like that. And I think one other game, the final game that I would have lots of interest, or I'll have that interest in, is the Denmark-North Macedonia game. And I think that with this game, Denmark, Brian Raymond cannot afford to give us, little. He has all the men to deliver. Rasmus Højlund, Christian Eriksen, Gustav Isaksen, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, there is Morten Human, Joachim Mele, Christian Norgard of Arsenal, Victor Nelson, there is Alexander Ba. These are players we've seen countless times in Europe playing top-level football. And we want to see them play and deliver to the max.
Yeah.
And I'm sure today we are going to see Sweden, get that victory also over North Macedonia. I didn't see how North Macedonia will travel to, Denmark will travel to, Denmark and give them worries. I think Denmark should get their win. Czech should win over Ireland. I think Poland over Albania. Italy should be able to get the job done in Bergamo tonight. And Ukraine, Sweden, that is why I think that it could possibly end in a draw. Wales, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Craig Bellamy and his team, Harry Wilson. I expect them to give a showing. Even if it's a narrow victory, you get to know that, yes, you can qualify. And Turkey, Romania, also another tough game. But the Turkish have enough. They have enough quality at their disposal, Lots and lots of quality players in there. Ada Gulek and Yildiz from Juventus. They have Karim Aktoglu, who will be leading the attack. So I expect Turkey to also get that victory, and then we just hope to see if anything could change. Hakan Çalhanoğlu obviously will be in that midfield to try pull the strings together with Ada Gule, and then you have August Aiden, and then Kenan Yildiz on the left and the right hand side of the attack to give Turkey that opportunity to get a victory. They are coached by the former Italian Vincenzo Montella.
Yeah, Montella.
Yeah, so Montella.
He's room quite a bit.
Yes, but Romania are looking forward to something happening. Their coach, Messia Lucescu, he played with the likes of Pelé. He will be 80 by the time of the World Cup, and he's looking forward to qualifying this team. It will be phenomenal. It will be great news, not just for Romanian football, but history for the world. So we'll be waiting to see. Maybe he's just trying to. This man, is it the Uruguayan coach, the coach who was Oscar Tavares? Yes, hoping he would just match up to his levels, but he will be the oldest. Should he be able to qualify the team to the World Cup?
Wow,
so,
that
the Romanian coach, Messia Lucescu. So
that should be interesting.
Hoping he gets the job done today. If he's able to, great for them. But if he's not, yes, we'll move on to see if Turkey, because Turkey, you cannot afford to see Ada Gule performing at these levels and then he wouldn't be able to play at the World Cup. It will be quite unfortunate not to see one of the best, we see in the world in the Champions League, the La Liga, time and time again, not being able to qualify and then be seen at the World Cup.
So, Kelvin, the oldest coach at the World Cup is Otto Reago.
Yeah.
He did it 71 years, 371
days. So this one is way older. So if he qualifies, 80-year-old
Oscar Tavares is second. Uruguay 2018, 71 years, 125 days.
So exactly 71.
We have our good friend Louis Van Gaal. 71 years, 123
Stubborn
days.
man.
Then you have Cesar Prandelli, 70 years, 130 days. And then Carlos Queiroz, Iran, 2022.
Yeah, Qatar 2022,
years, 273 days. These are, very fantastic managers by all standards.
Yeah. They left them and made the mark.
Let me go over the games one more time. Yeah. And today, we have Turkey taking on Romania. Denmark play North Macedonia. Italy play Northern Ireland. Slovakia play Kosovo. Wales play Bosnia and Herzegovina. Czech Republic play Ireland. Ukraine plays Sweden, and then Poland, led by Lewandowski, would take on Albania. So these are games to look forward to. Semi-finals, World Cup qualifiers. 4 teams would progress to the World Cup from Europe, and so we'll see how things pan out for all of these teams. Well, it's a good time to get into our rugby league discussion. I'm joined in studio by members of the Rugby League Federation Ghana. Well, they've become friends of Sporty FM, and they've come in studio with their full member certificate. And this, so let me read as I'm seeing. This is to certify that the IRL General Assembly has granted membership status to Rugby League Federation Ghana. So Rugby League Federation Ghana is the only representative of the International Rugby League in Ghana, responsible for developing rugby league in the country, as well as national representative selections, tournaments, technical courses, and activities in general. This is signed by Danny Kazadian, General Secretary, International Rugby League. And this is good news. This is good news. And we'll catch up with them in a bit. And I'm joined by General Manager, Rugby League Federation Ghana, Jafar Mustafa. As always, joining us in studio. Jafar, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Good morning to our listeners.
Yes, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
You have full membership status now.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Wow, and it's a big deal. We'll get into that in a bit. And I'm joined in studio by my captain. He captains which of the teams? He's the captain.
National team and scholars.
National scholars, he's the scholars captain. Yeah, so I picked him. Riddick Aliba is the regional manager for Greater Accra. Riddick, good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks.
Great, good to have you in studio. Good to have you in studio.
To be here.
Are you looking forward to the start of this season?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not playing this time?
Oh, I am.
The scholars will do magic.
The scholars, we are regrouping, so hopefully we hope for the best. This season is a different adventure for us,
right?
But hopefully we will enjoy it, and we hope everyone else will enjoy it with us.
And Hilary Wako is here with us as well. Hilary, she plays a role as the communications manager. So Hilary, she's doing other stuff, but Hilary, you're welcome as well. But let's start the discussion from here. This full membership certificate, this full membership status you've attained, and what does it mean? And what does this achievement mean for Rugby League Federation Ghana?
Okay, thank you very much. So for some time now, since 2012, we've been trying to attain what we call full membership or full recognition from the international body. As federations that play the sports, there are 3 levels of recognition. There's the observer, there's the athlete, and then there's the full member.
Okay.
As it stands, Ghana is the 15th full member of the International Rugby League, and we are the 2nd in Africa, aside South Africa.
Wow.
We have been following this for some time because for you to be able to do anything globally, you need to be recognized by the international body. Aside that also, in 2022, right, we played a tournament here that was got us. We played 2nd, and we were supposed to go to South Africa to play a tournament. But around that time, the rules were changed, and they said for you to play in a World Cup qualifier, that was a World Cup qualifier. For you to play in a World Cup qualifier, you need to be a full member before you can play in a World Cup qualifier. So now we've made the criteria, which means from 2027, our main team will be able to play in a World Cup qualifier that propels us to play in the 2029 World Cup. Initially, we didn't have this opportunity, so at a point, there were not too much activities for the boys. So if you realize, anytime we come here, we are traveling with the girls because they always had the opportunity. Now the boys have the opportunity, and we'll be able to now play our qualifiers. And our qualifiers are now going to be tricky because if Nigeria is also working on full membership,
right?
If they don't get it before the time, we just have to play South Africa and play one of the oceanic countries, and then we are good to go into the World Cup, which is something we are trying to work on. So the plans have started. The leagues are going to select the boys. We are trying to get the young ones involved so that we are able to enter this zone. We see what the World Cup is bringing to the Blasters. We wish them well, and we think if we are also able to make it there, we'll make ourselves proud.
Right. And let me bring in Riddick. And there's a lot of talk about the 13th male championship, right? Men's championship. Tell us about the upcoming season and what we should expect as far as this new season is concerned.
This season promises to be interesting. there's been a lot of shifts between teams. There are a lot of players moving around.
Are they moving around for free, or there are transfer fees?
No major transfer fees. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
I think some of the clubs, I think Dragons just came in last year, but that has done a lot of work. So a lot of the players have moved there. Initially, they played with a lot more younger side. But this season, they have a lot of the experienced guys joining them. Panthers, Bulls, they've had a lot of recruitment done for this season. So it promises to be interesting. And because the fun fact is this season we'll be playing every fortnight. So people will go all out every Sunday. We'll play 3 games every Sunday. We'll play all the way to the night. So our last games will be played under the floodlights. So it adds a bit more interesting vibes to the 13th championship.
Where do you normally play your games?
The University of Ghana Rugby Stadium.
And how long is the season? How long is the season?
12 weeks. Okay. 12 weeks, yeah. 12 weeks, yeah.
Jafar, you want to add a bit?
Yes. So this year we are playing for 12 weeks, like you said. Most of the clubs, the dynamics have changed. So you'll not be able to pinpoint the major figures again. You see how Riddick was struggling to tell you something about scholars because the dynamics have changed. We are there are new players in there, new people to watch out for. We have the likes of Kofi Edusei, Innocent. We have the old boys, Leslie, those who came to make noise here last time. This year, there's going to be a lot of change or a lot of shifts, but we wish the teams all the best. Yeah.
And Marshall Norte has just joined us. He's the technical director, Rugby League Federation Ghana. Marshall, welcome.
Thank you.
Great. I'll bring you in a bit, but let me still pick the thoughts of Riddick. He has a lot of playing to do, so he would understand this. Ghana will participate in the Rugby League All-Star game in Nigeria.
Yeah.
How important is this tournament to you and other players?
It's the ladies joining in to play the All-Star games.
Okay.
For us, it's interesting. It's a good exposure for our ladies. Most of our ladies, we've had a couple of tournaments for them, so we need to we are sending 7 players to join to play the All-Star games. Again, it's the exposure, it's the experience. Getting the ladies to play with other ladies from around the world adds a bit more intellect to the game. They get to know what the game is all about. So it's exciting for us. We just hope our ladies go in and put in a good show. We know it will be tough for them because some of these countries they will be playing with a lot more experience. And the last time we were here talking about our ladies, we mentioned that we are interested in grooming the young ones. We are interested in getting them from the base. So we'll have a mixed team of a few experienced players and some of our younger girls going, the 7-woman team going to Nigeria. So hopefully they'll have a good time. They'll be able to mingle and then create the exposure for Ghana. Of course, our full membership has given us the exposure in the international world, but hopefully this will be a lot more addition for them.
Well, that's an interesting one. But Jafar, Nigeria beat your women last time out, right?
Yeah.
How come you have attained full membership status ahead of Nigeria, who really seem to have better development in terms of the sport?
So winning is not developing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Development goes beyond winning games. You have to put in structures. You have to have at least 2 educators, coaches educators, and then match official educators, which they are now working on. The sport is growing. Nigeria have a lot of players from different angles who are feeding into the system now to play for them. We are like a relatively new team, so we have a new crop of players. That is why you think it's not working at the moment, or we are not winning at the moment. But a good example should be the guys. We beat their guys here when they came here during the Tri-Nation. Yes. So the winning is just one part of the criteria.
Okay.
The other criteria you need to meet to become full members, and that is what we have worked on. So Nigeria took the World Cup direction, and we took the meeting the criteria direction.
Okay.
So there's no wrong in there. They now have the international exposure. People know them. They've gotten a lot of fields to themselves, and they have a major sponsor at the moment. We don't have. But we have also taken the direction where we're going to be credible and recognized internationally.
Yeah.
So that is it.
Let me bring in Marshall, and Marshall joined us a bit late, but buddy,
I want to add a bit to what Jaffa just said. So if you're looking at it, when it comes to the books, we have built that credibility. When it comes to governance, it comes to structure, we have built that, and that is what the world has come to know us for. They have built their credibility on the field, and that is what the world knows them for. They are now working on what would get them their full membership, put them in the books. We have done that already, so now we can focus on development and then projecting ourselves. And the good thing with us is we have a strong publicity strategy, which also has allowed us to share that hype they have built, or that we have shared it with them in the course of time. We're looking at equally helping them, assisting them to also get them in the books, so that they are structure-wise and governance-wise.
We hope you not let Nigeria be beating us in rugby too. Be beating us in athletics and be beating us in rugby.
The change has started already.
Right. I mean, they beat us in 2019, they beat us in 2022. And we have turned it over, so it's something that has come to stay. From where we stand, it's something that has come to stay, and eventually the women will also follow suit. They've beaten us about 4 or 5 times over the last 3 years. That would also change in a little while, so we'll keep hopes alive, and then our plans also in action.
Okay, let's talk about collaborations, and any of you could take this one. I know in time past you've hosted Oxford University. You're on the verge of playing a premier school, Cambridge. Tell us about these collaborations and what it does for you and what the future holds for more.
Okay, so for us, playing locally is not enough. We always, within the year, we try to test our national team against an external force. We've done that with Oxford. We've done that with Roots Rugby. We are going to do it with Cambridge July 6th to 13th. It's something we intend to continue. So a lot of universities will be coming around each year, or organizations coming around each year to test the players. Like we said, we have a plan to beat Nigeria, to go to the World Cup. So we are putting in the structures, putting in the measures to ensure that we are able to achieve this within the shortest possible time.
Right. Riddick, you want to add a bit?
Just to add, these premier schools choosing Ghana to come and play is not, I would say, is not any little feat, because they need to recognize what you are doing before they even decide to come. Having Oxford come in, and they had an exciting time, they had a great time, not just on the field, off the field as well. That pushed other teams. We've had a lot of reach outs from other universities from the UK, and that's even what brought about Roots coming in as well. So there's also a means of exposure. We need to meet the standard out there. Again, in the next, we play the long game, and that's what the team, we keep saying. We rather play the long game, build our structures, have a solid base, so that when we take off, everybody will know we've worked through that system. So Cambridge coming in this year, hopefully another school or another organization, another team will come in next year, and then we keep building up for there. Also with the schools, we are trying to create a bilateral with the University of Ghana, which is our base now, and also with the schools. Marshall being the head of technical, and in the university has a lot more insights on that.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic opportunity. We had a great experience with Oxford coming down about 3 years ago, and Cambridge, they choosing to come to Ghana as well for the University of Ghana Rugby League. It's also another fantastic opportunity. Why? Because these are elite schools out there in the UK who are also fusing or having something to do with the premier university here in Ghana, and that is a fantastic collaboration. The director of sports, thanks to the director of sports, Dr. Austin Lugutera, he's involved in there and has accepted the challenge. The senior assistant registrar, who is also involved and accepted the challenge. It means that University of Ghana is waiting for Cambridge University to come down. The last time they beat us, we're looking at Oxford beat us. We're looking at beating Cambridge this time around, and it's sending a strong message that whether in Ghana or in the UK or wherever we meet them, even in the cap of a bottle or the top of a bottle, we are going to beat them. Yeah, so we are also preparing feverishly in wait of the challenge they would bring down to Ghana.
Right. Finally, before you go, what's the vision? What does the future hold for Rugby League Federation Ghana, and also in terms of stakeholder support and public support, what do you need from us?
Okay, so the first one is we are looking to grow with those who believed in and started with us. And we coming here today is to inform Sporty that, the support you've been giving us all these years or all these months has yield results, and that is what you see here. As a group, we believe in sharing whatever you get, so that when you get more, people know that you give more.
That's right.
Good. So we are here with a citation for Sporty.
Oh, wow.
Because I think...
Oh, wow. That's...
that was like last year. I saw the ad. I saw the ad and I was like, Sporty, good. Then this is the time for us, because then Sporty is for sports. And throughout all this while, it's been nice. I've come to realize that sports is not just for football; it's for all sports. You give us all the attention, and we are very, very grateful. We see ourselves moving together and in the near future, doing more. So we are here to start small and acknowledge the fact that thank you for supporting whatever we are doing. Thank you.
Right, and so I have received on behalf of Sporty FM citation from Rugby League Federation Ghana. And let me say a big thank you to Rugby League Federation Ghana for recognizing us. I mean, we are very grateful. We are very grateful for this, and we appreciate this gesture. And we wish you well in your future endeavors. But let me read what's here. So your commitment to coverage, storytelling, and promotion played a vital role in amplifying the success of the 2025 Rugby League season. Through consistent visibility, accurate reporting, and engaging content, you helped grow the profile of Rugby League, connect fans to the game, and showcase the efforts of players and officials. The impact of the 2025 season was strengthened by media partners like you, who continue to elevate Rugby League in Ghana through professionalism and dedication. Thank you for your outstanding contribution to the sport and its growing audience. And this is coming from Rugby League Federation Ghana to Sporty FM. We say a big thank you to you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your gesture. We really do appreciate it. And our doors are always open. This is Sporty FM, as always, your voice of sport. So
thank you so much.
We'll be through the season. Once again, let's go through the season again. When does it start? Where is it going to be played? And how many teams are taking part? And where is it happening?
Okay, so it's starting April 12th. And we are playing every fortnight. There will be 3 games. There will be games in the night. We intend to also play games on Friday nights, so kindly watch out for that. We have 6 teams playing this year, and these 6 teams include Scholars, Bulls, Panthers, Tigers, and the Titans. This year promises to be very, very nice because the weight has been shared, the resources, all the players have moved. I feel it's equally balanced now. Except for my brother here, but I know what he can do. He's able to turn water into wine. He's able to move with. It's called what? Okana. He doesn't make noise. So I think we are still going to see the best out of this league, and we call on corporate Ghana. We call on the media. We tell our story. We mark our major milestones. So join us because we are going to be big. And Masha will say with or without you.
I think we're bringing something from the NRL, like he mentioned. NRL has the Friday night live footy, and we're bringing it down here. We realized that people also need a place to go on Friday night just to de-stress after the stressful week. We are giving you Rugby League on Friday night under the floodlights.
Should be exciting.
Yes, and come. It's just going to be like a party. Maybe your party after work or something. Come have fun, sit with us, enjoy the game. Let's have a good chat. Let's build some connect and then get Rugby League going. Let's talk about business as well, because it's supposed to be a hub for people to connect and then talk about business, move forward, and then get Ghana also going. So
Riddick, final words?
Final words. Rugby League is here to stay. We are always welcome we invite corporate Ghana and everyone to be part of it. And lastly, a big thank you. We've given the citation, but a big thank you. We really acknowledge all the efforts, even the short times you are able to put us on. We really acknowledge it, and we hope it continues for. We are here to stay, as I said, and we'll keep growing. So you stay with us through and through. Corporate Ghana, always our doors are open. Get involved, join us. Let us grow, help us grow, and grow yourself as well.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Let me say a big thank you to you, Riddick Aliba, Regional Manager, Rugby League Federation Ghana, Marshall Norte, Technical Director, Rugby League Federation Ghana, and then Jafari Audu Mustafa, General Manager, Rugby League Federation Ghana, and of course, Hilary Waku, the Communications Lead for Rugby League Federation Ghana. A big thank you to you for joining us in studio today.
Thank you.
And again, the entire Sporty FM group is grateful for this. We are grateful for the citation, and we are grateful for the recognition. We wish you well. And we'll be joining you this season, and we'll see how things progress. This season, I'm supporting the Scholars.
Thank you. That's all I need. That's all I need. The Scholars will come back.
Right. And this all time would allow us on today's edition of Sporty Breakfast. My name is Raymond Yamado. I started the show with Nathan Kwao. Entire technical team, entire production team provided lots of support. Technical team led by Biggie, Trish, Yeyo, Doggy, and Jonathan providing all the technical support on the show. And the entire production team, Immortali Jakwa Champo, Angela Mensa, Fidelis Enchieje, Yusuf Desaja, Isa Emmanuel Ayamga, David Kofita, and Nana Kwame Labi. And our team lead, Gary L. Smith. A big thank you to you for providing massive support to us this morning. Programming on Sporty continues. At 10:05, we bring you Inside French Football with Nathan Kwao. And then we bring you the news at 12. At 12:30, Nana Kwame Labi will bring you Sporty Plug. And then at 4 p.m., Fifi Banton will take the seat and bring you Sporty Drive. And then at 7, we get into European nights. And then at 10, we'll bring you our exclusive NFL and NBA show, Ball Up Top with Winston Michaels and Rondo. In between time, lots of sporty stories for you, lots of documentaries for you, lots of podcasts for you. Keep your dial locked on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Until we meet again tomorrow morning on another edition of Sporty Breakfast, keep listening to Sporty FM. Sporty FM, we are the voice of sport.